Rival House Network.
And don't like the brags, I don't like the boast. They like hot butter on the breakfast toast. Watching flicks, talking chicks that like to motorboat. Can Riverman make it yo a check? Nope. So look at all these movies I got. Commenting like, should we watch them or not? I know they just be acting for cash, but I still got one question to ask. Like, why'd he do that? Do that, do that? If that was me, I'd be like, screw that, screw that, screw that. I'm an alpha, I'd eat through that, through that, through that. So why'd he do that, do that, do that?
All right, everybody. Hello. Welcome to another episode of BTM Commentaries, BTM Podcast, however you know us. I want to take a second just to please remind everybody, please take a moment, like the video, and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Help your boys out in the algorithms. So if you guys are new to the channel, we do commentaries on this particular show, and Zach and I...
You're probably like, what the fuck does that mean? That means we watch movies and we talk over it.
Yeah. A lot of you guys that are just clicking on the video and you don't know how to read, you need that explanation. But anyway, as of late, Zach and I have sort of committed to doing some fun movies that we love, so it can sort of spice it up and get us excited about it. But today, this week, is a movie I chose. Even though last week's movie we did Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which check that one out. That one turned out really well. Minus my audio, which, by the way, hopefully, if you guys are hearing this, the audio is fixed because we've had a serious issue where my fucking stuff sounds super hot, and I don't know. There's some kind of application that is conflicting with something else, and it's making the audio adjust, and it's ruining my life. But anyway, that's a good one. And this week we're doing, I'll let Zach introduce it because he always does. But
we are doing Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. Fucking, like, how do you pronounce Marlboro? How does that pronounce?
Marlboro Man.
It's spelled Marlboro Man.
Yeah, Marlboro. So it's like, it's very slight on the O and the So Marlboro.
Were smokers just fucking autistic? Like fucking they can't read? Like fucking Pall Mall is Pall Mall? What the hell is this?
Is it really Pall? I didn't know it was Pall Mall until I watched Secret Window with Johnny Depp, and he was
That's how it's written on it.
It looks like Pall Mall. No, it looks like Pall Mall.
Or whatever. Maybe
it's Pallmall. So that's the way I always read it, was Pall Mall. But then I watched Secret Window, that Johnny Depp flick, and he smokes Pall Malls, and he called it like a Pall Malls. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Yeah. All right. Anyway, so we're doing this movie. The thing is, it's one of these flicks where it's not like a wonderful movie, right? It's a total B movie. And I'll drop the history on the flicks as we watch it, but it's a movie that I've grown up with. It's one of these flicks that I grew up renting in that old mom and pop video shop I reference all the time. So I know it very well, and it's comfort food, and I'll definitely address where I think the movie falters a little bit, right? But
he meant it's cum fart food, like that when you do a big cum up in the fucking asshole and then they fart it out and it fucking just explodes all over your face. It's cum fart food.
Did we pass the 30-second mark? I hope so.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. All right.
That was me celebrating.
So guys, cue it up. I don't know where you can watch this. If you guys are trying to find it easily online, I have no clue. I own it on Blu-ray. Zach's obviously provided us a copy for the show, but hopefully you have a copy. Anyway, we're going to cue it up and we're going to get started in 3, 2, 1, play.
Born with a ski mask on my face. We're seeing that logo, that little warning that says the film title is not intended to fucking promote products. And it was basically, they just took the name Harley Davidson and Marlboro Man. I always want to say Marble Man. Fucking like, you play marbles? Fucking just playing some marbles with each other. Very Chad. There's that tiger.
All right. So this movie, it's when I was a kid, I never really quite understood the novelty of the Marlboro Man and the Harley Davidson. I think I don't know. I didn't really get the joke. It's actually pretty stupid, but that's just their nicknames. Obviously, they belong to like this. They allude to their past. I don't know if they used to be all part of a gang, but they're all friends that go to that bar. I don't really know what their past entails. They all went to school. They all hung out, but they all have nicknames, and they don't really get into that. You're gonna have people like Big John Studd in this movie. You got Vanessa Williams in a very early role in this movie. And if you look at the credits, even though a lot of them aren't called by name a lot, in the credits, they all have names. So when you see Don Johnson's girlfriend in this, they call her Virginia. But if you look at the credits, her name is Virginia Slim, which is a bitch cigarette, right? They've all got those names. So I don't know what the fucking deal is there. But we're starting off here with, it's New Year's, ringing in the new year. We got Mickey Rourke. He just done fucked a hoe. And we're going to see her ass. We're going to see her tits, I think, here as he's, getting ready. The thing is, he's so cool. He's supposed to be one of these guys. They're playing Bon Jovi, right?
So fucking dated. Bon Jovi.
They're playing Bon Jovi, and she's just watching him as he's leaving, right? And she's cool with it. Like, you know what? I'll take a one-night stand.
This is basically a neo Western. Basically, like fucking, it's set up to just be like a Western, like they're fucking just grifters, and like the fucking, they meet up with each other, and it's like fucking, they're like, oh man, how long's it been? And then it ends with them fucking parting ways again, and it's like fucking, they just go from town, like it's just that movie, fucking, and it's kind of like their comic book. It's kind of are they supposed to be like comic book esque? With like fucking like they come and they save the day and then they fucking peel out. It's a weird fucking movie. This is a weird movie, Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of meet up. Harley Davidson is obviously this drifter, Mickey Rourke, which by the way, this is right before Mickey's career started leaving us. He still looked like Mickey Rourke. And he was really big in the late 80s. This movie came out in 90 or was it 91? Something like that. 90 or 91. And
91, yeah.
Try to think of another big hit he had after this. I don't think he really did, because it was right smack dab in the mid 90s where he was starting to sort of take paycheck work. You know, he was doing shit like Double Team with Jean-Claude Van Damme playing second billing to Dennis Rodman.
I think I read this was the last movie he did before he pursued his
boxing.
career in boxing. Yeah.
Yeah. This might be the last movie you see him in before he looks totally fucked up, before he had to have plastic surgery, which apparently is from boxing injuries. But anyway, we have Harley Davidson. He's clearly traveling. He is going from Vegas. I believe that's where he started out. And he's going to end up in Burbank. Burbank, I guess, is where he hails from, and that's where all his cronies are. Which is interesting. I mean, I guess they're going to have this kind of shit, like country bar. They're at that country bar here at the beginning. That country biker bar. It's like, I don't really imagine that shit being in Burbank, California, but I guess it's everywhere. Yeah, he's like... Sorry, he's going through... I've made those drives before where you get all those like winds panel things. Yeah, it's really cool.
Fucking when I was watching this, I was thinking like, this movie, the plot, it's weird enough to kind of have that like Bill and Ted Bogus Journey type of thing, or like I love Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. I like Buckaroo Banzai, just a fucking weird ass. Like, oh, he's like a scientist, and he's like he's the lead singer of this band. He plays guitar, and he's just like a genius who's discovered like how to fucking go back, and he's discovered like space and time travel type weird shit, traveling through dimensions, and it's just like fucking movies like that. But I will let you know what I thought of the movie as we go through it, baby. But I did watch this years ago, and this was my second time watching it.
All right, so this chick who plays the gas station attendant, she's fucking hot as shit, and she had a career for like a second. Her name is Kelly Hu, and she played Lady Deathstrike in X-Men 2, right? The X-Men United.
That rhymes with her fucking name. It's almost as if it was God made.
She's got a crow's peak, but she looks fucking hot as shit. She's so hot. I like this guy. He's like, I'm going to cut you long, wide, and deep, Motorhead. He's like,
what is a crow's peak?
It's the Eddie Munster, that little triangle that goes down on her head.
That shit, Stacy.
Oh, Widow's Peak. Did I say crow's peak? Widow's Peak. Yeah,
Widow's Peak.
Like, hit the floor, asshole.
That means if you married her, you'd probably fucking die young because she has got a widow's peak.
That looks like Urkel, man. So to me,
hey, that's an advertisement for Ben and Jerry's back there. They are big cum is trying to get you to get stoned while you watch this movie. I think
if I had a nickel for every time, the movie's insanely quotable for me. There's something about it, like pump all the gas you can hold. That's not good business. Like, he's just this guy that's too cool for school. He can thwart a robbery, kick the shit out of all these guys that have weapons, and then just nonchalantly rejects like her offer of, I don't know if he rejects the gas thing, but that's not good business, and just walks away. Like he can nail any chick. He could totally have her, man.
He's probably gay. He's probably gay.
Well, he fucked it. What
did
did he do with that chick at the hotel room in the first scene?
Well, he was pretending that was, a trans woman, and like that's probably how he got it up. But like fucking, like he's latently homosexual.
Oh wait,
I think that is his character.
Hold on. This chick right here gave me one of my first boners because I watched this movie for the first time in that mom and pop rental shop. I was in the 4th grade, and this is one of the movies that I rented a million times. And then watch, you're gonna have this old man laugh, and whenever her tips come out. And dude, I rewound this. This is one of my Fast Times videotapes, right? We were talking about, when it was all fucked up around the time where Phoebe Cates, that rewinding it over and over again, watch them tits. I rewound that part so many times. And I want to say, go ahead.
They're fucking signaling big cum every time it shows one of these characters chalking their fucking their stick, their fucking what are those called?
The cue on
their game of pool. While we're introduced to our boy Marble Man.
Yeah, played by Don Johnson. This is the first movie this is the first thing I knew Don Johnson from, because like I said, I've been watching this movie since I was about 10 or so. The thing is I remember seeing it when I was much younger than 10. I was probably 5 when I just
had a visual idea of what the thumbnail for this episode has to be. It has to be like the fucking Mega Man screen select, but I changed it to his face and put Marble Man.
There you go.
That's Chad.
The Native American gentleman, you guys might remember him in the 90s. He was in that show Renegade, which is one of Corey G's favorites, starring Lorenzo Lamas. He was Lorenzo Lamas' sidekick, and he looked the exact same as you see him there, right? It's almost like that's how he dresses all the time. And he also played the first clown villain as far as the Red Triangle Circus Gang in Batman Returns, right? The one that you missed. And he like busts his head with the concrete, right? And that's where Michelle Pfeiffer gets the stun gun from. It's him.
Fucking Michelle Pfeiffer, what a Stacy.
You gotta chalk that stick real good.
What is the point of doing that? Putting the chalk on there? I
just think it levels out the tip, because like whenever I've looked at them where they weren't chalked up, they look all fucking crooked and shit. And I just think it matters. Like when you're hitting the ball, I mean, any deviation in that could cause it to go wherever. What a cool bar, though. It's like a strip club, but not a strip. It doesn't look like a strip club, but clearly it's a strip club, right? It just looks like a biker bar, a regular biker bar, but you have these naked chicks straddling Harley Davidsons with their tits out.
What do chicks hang out at biker bars? Does any of this happen? What if bikers are really just like the gay community that didn't want to ever come out? Like, what if it is like one of those things? Like, if we all snuck in and did it would be like that fucking what's that idiot Alex Jones sneaking into the Bohemian Grove? Yeah. Like, you go into the biker bar and they all of a sudden fucking no one's around, and it's just fucking the whips and chains come out.
We're missing my good quotes here, like 5 big bills in my pocket. Are you warming in my bed? Well, I ain't got no $500, cowboy, and there ain't no way in hell you bedding down my woman.
So he ain't no cowboy.
My old man said there'd be blue-bellied chicken shit bastards like you. He always references his old man. But anyway, go ahead.
Fucking he ain't no cowboy. He is a fuck boy. He's a beta boy. Fucking this guy.
Well, that's what he's about to say. He's about to say he ain't no cowboy. He's a pretty boy. Pretty boy.
And then that really pisses him off.
Yeah. I mean, but what is Don Johnson before this? He was Miami Vice. He didn't have that long hair and the beard and all that shit. He was kind of a pretty boy, right?
Did I read that Don Johnson was the director of this movie?
No, you did not, because he's not.
I swear I was reading that in the trivia. It kept saying stuff that like confused the fuck out of me. Here it says, I'll read this real quick. It says, in his Instagram post, Mickey Rourke paid a tribute to Don Johnson as a very good friend and somebody whom he looked up to for showing the director how to direct the film and also being a good actor. So maybe
he was giving the director tips, is what it sounds like to me. Like he was showing the maybe he was a first-time director. Because I wouldn't be surprised if Don Johnson directed episodes of Miami Vice, because that seems to always be in TV show contracts, right? If you're on a show long enough, I want to be able to direct too, and gain some experience doing that.
He says he always thought Don Johnson was a good actor, and he got the handsome man. He tried to imitate his dressing sense in Miami Vice and failed, he said. And he was impressed by Don's acting and also his humility and was very happy for his friendship with Don Johnson and experience. But Mickey Rourke hates this fucking movie, apparently. Even though
So
he doesn't like this movie.
I think Don Johnson's a fantastic actor. The thing is when I say it's a B movie, it's not really a B movie in the sense that it clearly had a studio behind it, MGM, and it was theatrical, and it starred two people that were names at the time. But it's a B movie, I guess, in the sense that it got lost in time. And I think it's just one of these situations where it had a lot of competition or something. It probably came out on the wrong weekend and just got obliterated and just lost in time. But it's not I guess it's a B movie in the sense that it's just sort of stock. I mean, it's a little bit formula, right? I mean, like it's a buddy movie. It's a buddy movie. But why does he hate the movie? The movie's a fun movie. I don't understand. The performances are great. Everybody in it acts really well. And Tom Sizemore, who plays the villain, is a little over the top. That's the way Sizemore always was.
Look, Die Hardest 5.
Is that what it said?
There was a billboard that said Die Hardest 5. They were mocking your favorite action series, Aaron.
That's not my favorite
Don't
action.
You hate this movie now?
It can't be my favorite action series. Well, you know what's funny? I almost said it can't be my favorite action series if only two of the movies are good, in my opinion. But isn't that kind of the going rate? Terminator, there's really only two great Terminators. There's really only 1.5 good Predator movies. I don't know if you want to.
You real quick, you want to know what I noticed while I was watching this? Mickey Rourke is basically just swollen Michael Keaton. Like,
I don't see it. What?
If Michael Keaton got stung by 1,000 bees, or just one giant bee, even like fucking that motherfucker from Donkey Kong, fucking that first boss battle, fucking like just he got stung by that motherfucker, and then Mickey Rourke got all puffed up and fucking. And like, fuck that bee. Like we beat the shit out of him for stealing our boy's big ass banana.
No, I think Mickey Rourke in this movie, if you look at him dead on, he kind of looks like a Michael Myers mask.
Fucking amazing. Did they have that scar, or was that is that a real scar?
I think that's added because I don't think I've seen that scar.
It looks real, but like they could have fixed it whenever they were giving him all of that plastic surgery. He ended up getting from the fucking boxing or whatever.
You know what? He's always had rough complexion in his movies that were earlier in this. So maybe he did have the scar and I just didn't notice it. Let me see, because he always had sort of that rough look. Mickey Rourke's scar.
He was kind of a Chad. He was kind of a Chad back in these days before he fucked his face up.
It might be real. It might be real. But anyway, I don't understand what about this movie, because the Baldwin that's in this, that plays that shitty grunt that talks like a robot, they were dilettantes, sir. Okay. He was in an interview one time on some news channel and he was getting introduced. Basically, hey, this is Daniel Baldwin. He's been in such films as, and they listed Harley Davidson, the Marlboro Man, and he sort of corrected him and basically said, that's I consider that a B film. Like he was like not owning that one. I'm like, what has Daniel Baldwin done? Like, you know what I mean? Is it Daniel? It's Daniel.
His whole filmography is kind of B movies.
No, he did Vampires, right? John Carpenter's Vampires, which is about the extent, but he was like the least. A lot of people pick on Steven for being the weakest. But Steven
was in fucking Biodome. Amazing.
No matter how you slice it, can you think of any movies, even if they were a bomb or not, where Daniel Baldwin had top billing? No, but Stephen Baldwin did have shots. He was in stuff.
He was in like fucking Usual Suspects.
He was in Usual Suspects. He was in Flintstones, and he was in Biodome. I mean, like he had a moment, right, where they were at least trying to make him happen. But Daniel Baldwin, he never did. And for him to call this a B, I remember my mom loved this movie. This is why we watched it so much, because she said she loved Mickey Rourke and she loved Don Johnson. So when this movie came out, she was obsessed with it. And when she saw that thing, we were both, I think we're watching it in the morning before I had to go to school or something. And she was like offended. She's like, what fucking A movies has this guy been in? Like, it is a little offensive. I get it. His part's not written well. It's like, it's stupid. I'm not trying to say the movie's like high art or anything, but it's likable. It's a fun movie. I don't see what's so bad about it. Is it a little bit stock? Yeah. It feels like a kitchen sink movie where they wanted to make a buddy movie, but let's throw everything in there. Let's have one guy be a cowboy. One guy's a fucking leather dude. They're going to take down a drug dealer. The drug dealer owns a bank, and it's kind of got a lot of shit going on. It's going to be kind of a revenge movie, because really they're just trying to get revenge for their buddies that get killed at the bar.
Let's talk about the plot.
It's a heist movie, right? It's everything. It's like all these different things. So basically,
yeah, they meet up with each other. They're going to their old buddy's bar, And basically what's going to happen is his buddy's going to tell him that he's basically running low on the rent and their lease is coming up. So they're going to decide that like, oh, we'll fucking rob a bank because we're trying to help our buddies out. But then they unknowingly, accidentally, instead of robbing money, they realize they just they robbed. Basically,
the bank is running drugs. Yeah.
It's a new drug called Crystal Dream or something.
Yeah,
and it's
the Dream or whatever. Yeah.
It's basically the Breaking Bad blue meth before Breaking Bad did it. They didn't like break it up though. It's like in big bricks. So fucking Breaking Bad ripped this movie off.
Great trust. Mm-hmm. They couldn't get Scatman Carruthers for this part, I guess.
Fucking hometown hero. Fucking a big concrete cock Scatman.
So, okay, they're all part of this gang. We obviously saw Mickey Rourke riding through down. He's drifting. They went their separate ways. He rolls back in through Burbank. He's saying hi to the old gang. I guess he just happened to know where Marlboro Man was going to be hanging out. I don't know if that was intentional, you know what I mean? But he runs into Marlboro Man there. Now they're going back to the old hangout. And this scene's cool because I guess it's been a while since he's shown his face around there, because I guess the last time he was around, he had made a big stink within the friendship, right? So you see Vanessa Williams that they're on stage. She's the catalyst of the issues because I guess she's married to Big John Studd, who was one of their friends back in the day. But the last time that they were all together, he fucked her. So,
hey, Chad.
But they squashed this really quick. We're going to see this right now. And Big John Studd's going to see him and they're going to get in a fight. And it's pretty funny. And then it's like water under the bridge. Then they kind of find out from Jimmy, who looks just like Jimi Hendrix. His name is Jimmy. And he's played by, you just made a Breaking Bad reference. He's played by Gustavo, whatever, Gus. That's
fucking, I did not know he was acting way back in fucking 91.
He was also in 91's before. Remember, he was also the thug in Nothing to Lose, which was 95, I think. But no. Anyway, so he plays Jimmy, and that's where they sort of find out that, hey, we're in financial trouble and, we're going to lose the bar, and they decide to rob the bank. So it already wants to be a heist movie now. And then they pull off the heist, which we've seen movies where the whole movie is based off like this kind of score, but it lasts like all of 2 minutes. They rob the bank. Sorry, the armored car without really much planning. I mean, they pull it off. Usually there's like movies that are about robbing an armored car that the whole movie is like the setup. Like, we got to make sure this goes off without a hitch. And they just do it.
That's what I was thinking when I was watching this. It's like, oh, let's rob a bank. And so I'm thinking like a big part of the movie is going to be them coming up with like their whole routine. But literally the next thing they should cut to is them fucking doing the bank robbery.
Are they pros? Did they used to do this in the past? Is this not their first rodeo? No pun intended. Yeah, I don't know. But they just make it happen. Like when I was a kid and I watched that, I'm like, wow, robbing an armored car is easy.
Exactly.
Anyway, so yeah, and then we get another detour when they find out they're not carrying the money. They're actually carrying and transporting drugs, which, now we have another problem, right? And then the bar, yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but hey, now the movie's also part over the top, right? They're doing arm wrestling. Clearly. Look, and then Big John Studd, man, I don't know. I guess fat and muscle doesn't always determine strength, but doesn't that other guy look a lot more yoked than him? Don't you think he would just like tear his arm off too? But he just rips his arm off like it ain't nothing. You'd think there'd at least be a fight between these two guys. Look at that.
He's just popping motherfuckers like it ain't no thing.
Yeah, and so I was blown away. When I saw Breaking Bad and I saw the guy who played Gus, I never attached it to the guy that was in this movie and Nothing to Lose, because I always saw him as a black guy. And then obviously in Breaking Bad, he's a little bit lighter skinned and he's got no mustache and he's clearly speaking in Spanish and his name is Gustavo. And he just totally blended. Like, I mean, he was like a master of disguise. Like, oh, I didn't, because I always thought he was a black guy.
Was he the guy who he was arm wrestling with?
No, that's him right there. Jimi Hendrix looking dude. That's Gus.
Oh, okay.
But that's the way he was in every movie. He looks more like a black guy, right?
I don't see him there at all. Yeah, I don't see him there.
Yeah, but if you cut his hair short, like Gustav, and you cut all his facial hair, and his skin seems a little bit lighter, and he starts using the accent, then he's Spanish. But it turns out he is, because his real name is like Esposito or something.
They say black don't crack, black usually don't crack, but he does look fucking way older.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where he's one of those like black I don't know if he's from Costa Rica or something, like, so he's kind of got
Chad.
both.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, so I don't know, man. You'd think that he would let him hit you in the face if you fucked his wife, but he's actually going to fight him.
I let him fuck my wife. I just hit myself in the face as I'm watching it, just to fucking punish myself because I couldn't please a beautiful Stacy like her. And we need Mickey Rourke to come in here, fucking put his Rourke in her fucking furry vagina.
I just don't get the hate though. I don't get the hate. I think I don't want it to sound like all these people just talk shit on this movie, because that's not the case, because I think most people just don't know it exists. But the few people that talk about it might criticize it, and I just don't get it, because I think all the dialogue is fun, right? Last time I kicked your ass, well, that you were in high school, Harley, and Jack had a broken arm. Well, I was the one that broke it. It's all really fun stuff. I just don't think, look at that, grabs him by the nuts. I can feel that.
Hell yeah.
And he's going to throw him out the fucking window on top of that car, and then he's just going to jump on top of him.
Fucking manhandle him. Just fuck
I know.
Fuck him in half, basically.
Uh-oh, he's fucked. Like, I thought all the comedic timing was really funny in this movie. I maybe I'm a little biased, but just all the cutbacks to because Don Johnson's the comic relief, right? Mm-hmm. Oddly enough, because I never know him to be a comedian, but
imagine if Big John Studd came up to you and just said, "I'm gonna fuck you in half." Like, what do you do?
It looks like he's about ready to kiss him.
Hell yeah!
It looks like he just raked him in the ass, and he's gonna give him a gentle kiss before he leaves.
Big Chad.
No, she doesn't. So, was this your first time watching it for this commentary?
I watched it one time, probably like 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay, so what is your opinion of it? I'm curious, because, I mean, is my assessment of it fair? Like, I mean, I don't see what's so offensive about it. I mean, I get it. It's kind of all over the place as far as what it wants to be, but I think the movie's fluid enough. Like, it's not confusing or anything. It's just, it's got trying to like incorporate all these different elements, but it's like not offensive. I think it's a fun time. It's not like changing the world or anything, but I think there's a little bit of a dip, like most movies, even like in the third act. I mean, that happens a lot, but even then, I think it's a solid movie. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
I'm feeling about a 6 on this one. Transition to what did you like it? Did you not like it? What did I review next? You're the best. Fucking hit the bell as well. And Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man forever.
Was that a transition to plugging people to?
Exactly. I was doing a YouTuber's whole fucking sign off thing. That was the Anthony Fantano guy, the music nerd.
Oh man, the skinny guy? Is he like that skinny guitar guy?
Okay, he's got a shaved head.
Oh, is he the punk rock NBA guy?
Fucking no. I think I posted a video he did once and you're like, I've never heard of this guy.
Yeah, probably not. Great trust. Anyway, I honestly think the backstory that we don't get to see, that they just sort of allude to, is more interesting too. Like, we owe it to the old man. Like, why do you owe it to this old man so much to go rob an armored car?
Because he's a big Chad, and he's like fucking. He could probably come in at least second place in the fucking Scatman Crothers lookalike contest. Big Chad.
Yeah, but I think they do a good enough job setting up a history that we don't get to see. Like, okay, it's clear that they're all really tight. I think it's a very harmless movie. I would totally understand if it's a 6 to most people, but I think obviously nostalgia plays a part for me. Yeah, who knows? It might be a 6 if I saw it for the first time, like today, but I don't know. For me, it's a 7 on most days, but who knows? Maybe if I'm feeling extra nostalgic, maybe even an 8. Even though I don't think it's an 8, if that makes sense. I don't think it's an 8. I think it's really a 7. But it's fun. We ain't gonna rob any damn bank. We're not bank robbers.
It's only 7 because it's afraid of fucking 8 because 7, 8, 9. So
yeah,
that was all fucked up.
Look, wait, hold on, right there. So when I said how are they just so good at robbing a fucking armored car in like 2 seconds without any planning, I said, well, maybe they used to do it in the past, and Don Johnson just debunked that. He just said, we ain't gonna rob any damn bank. We're not bank robbers. He just said it right there. How do they fucking nail this? How do they get all those construction worker outfits and shit like that? And you know what I mean? Like they got all this together so fast.
Exactly. That might have been a more interesting movie. Fucking following them, planning the whole heist.
No, I mean, that in itself is a movie, right? That's like they threw. It doesn't bother me. Like I said, it keeps the movie interesting because all this stuff is abandoned real quick because all the friends die. Spoiler alert. All these guys are going to be dead in about 5 minutes, right?
In a way, this movie has 2 first acts and then a third act.
It does. It's so they're all going to die. And I'm like, well, shit. Because they could have just kept this. This could have been the movie. Like, fuck, we're going to rob a bank to save this guy and really explore their history with the old man and why they want to do what they're going to do. And that could have been most of it. But yeah, then it's like, oh, let's throw in another twist. There's drugs. Let's kill all the friends. And then it becomes like, then it's just those two. Then they're all alone. Then it becomes a real buddy movie. And like I said, it's kind of a revenge movie because they're trying to just get justice for their friends. They're going after this guy. Like, this son of a bitch sells to get, drugs to kids. And then it kind of almost becomes it's a lost love movie. Then you have like the subplot between Don Johnson and his estranged. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in the flick.
I feel like they had to have, like, at least somebody was purposefully trying to make this like a neo-Western type of thing. I can't be the only one that thought that.
Yeah, like but you're right. Like on bikes instead of hogs. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry, bikes are hogs. Bikes instead of horses. Hogs instead of horses. There you go. And yeah, like instead of robbing robbing a train, right? Instead of robbing a train, it's robbing an armored car.
It's running a train.
Yeah, running a train on Scatman.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so that makes sense. I do feel that. I don't think I really put that together back in the day. Yeah, and you're right. You know what though? And the guy who owns the bank, he's like the guy that's taking all the farmland, right? Who's running in, trying to take these people's lands and shit like that. In all those westerns, he's that big dick shit. Yeah, so it definitely works. But, yeah, I mean, I could see it.
You can't see because I said it, and I am one of the smartest men alive.
I wonder how many movies you could apply that to, like the Western formula, and you just sort of modify it to reflect the setting and the times.
Yeah, here's a fun fact.
Look at this. Hold on. How do they got this really organized, man? He's got a getaway truck in under an overpass going through a fucking manhole, and what the fuck is going on here? And then Big John Stud's going to come out of nowhere, right? He's going to save the day because he backed out. He's like, sorry, we were going to start a family. He didn't want to get himself into trouble because he had Lulu there. But we saw him leave. So that insinuates he didn't hear any of the plan, right? He left with Lulu.
Fun fact, my dog Lulu is actually named after Lulu in this movie. Fucking my sister is a big fan of this movie. She watched it growing up.
No, shut up.
No, my sister named the dog Lulu because of a fucking sandwich at a fucking Jimmy John's or something.
That's
fucking,
weird.
And then we got her. We got her, baby. Bury you, Stacy.
So, but yeah, seriously, check it out. So the only reason they get out of this mess is because Big John Stud shows up, right? And he creates a diversion. He ends up getting killed. But Harley Davidson and Marlboro Man get away because of his sacrifice. But like I was trying to say before we went into the Lulu thing, Big John Stud, he left. When they pitched the idea, Big John Stud left with Lulu and says, count me out. We're going to start a family. Said Lulu wouldn't let him, and they leave. I wasn't under the impression he really got wind of the actual plan. Like, you know what I mean? Unless they cut all that out. Unless they cut all that out and he did hear it, but it doesn't really make sense. So how does he know where they're at? And he comes to save the day. Like, you know what? My boys need me. And he shows up coming in, fucking riding in like the Ghost Rider, and he does that sick ass fucking slide and he lights it's pretty cool, but it doesn't really make sense. Like, Big John Stud, you got spider sense or something.
He read the script.
Yeah, he read the script. Like, does that look like the work of amateurs? Yeah, pros would use my keys. Well, he likes to blow stuff up. Is that what he says? I can't hate the movie. I think the dialogue is fun. It's like, yeah, right. It's like a Western kind of squeeze through a Lethal Weapon filter. Like, it's trying to have that Lethal Weapon sort of like dynamic, right, between the two guys. He likes to blow things up.
Here's a fun fact. In numerous interviews, Mickey Rourke has said that he signed on to this film purely for financial reasons. He said it made him feel like a sellout and fueled his decision to into self-loathing in the mid-1990s.
Well, let me ask Mickey Rourke this, if you're listening, Mickey, and I know you are.
Mickey Dork.
Mickey Dork, more like. So how did you feel about every project you took after this, up until The Wrestler? Because it was all downhill from here. This is not the low point. It is not. Okay, these guys are totally fucking... Yeah, you know what's right? These guys kind of do like... These guys could easily be like the gunmen, right? The gunmen that are working for the crooked sheriff or whatever that... You know...
every time I mention to you that I've seen this movie, and I always say, like, that was a weird movie. Wasn't there, like, fucking, like, biker ninjas in that movie? This is who I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's really weird because they act like robots. Like, they don't really talk, and they're walking like robots. And first of all, like, look, hold on. I get it. They've got this bulletproof shit going on, but they're walking through it as if they can't possibly get hit in the face.
Are those bulletproof trench coats?
Yeah, there's something bulletproof about the stuff they're wearing, which is weird. I mean, the fabric shouldn't be bulletproof, and you should at least be seen like, it still hurts when you get... There's some blowback when you get hit. Anyway, why are they walking through it like there's no fear of getting shot in the face or the hands? You know what I mean? You think they're firing automatic weapons and shit. Well, I guess they're
really trusting that, like, fucking nobody aims for the head. That's something only in action movies. You fucking no. That's one thing that bugs me about horror movies, when people are like, why don't they fucking shoot him in the head? It's like, it's not easy to shoot him in the head. It's like, nobody trains you to shoot him in the head. Like, you go to
the body.
Yeah, it's like fucking. You aim at the biggest part of the body, the torso.
But you know what's funny is when a million bullets clearly aren't doing anything, and they're wearing something as suspicious as, like, this material head to toe, shoot them in the head. I mean, I get it. They really don't have that much time to really think on their feet because they're firing automatic weapons at them, and they just got the handguns.
Fucking exactly. That's like fucking. It's like aim at the fucking smallest part of their body, and shoot that. Fucking,
well, they got,
it's
like,
not that easy. Yeah,
automatic weapons firing at them. Yeah. And then we have a Playing Graveyard, which is pretty cool. I feel like I've seen Playing Graveyards in a lot of movies.
Bruce Willis was considered to play Harley Davidson, baby.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of looks the part, and he was witty. He kind of had that, like, you know, John McClane wittiness.
Apparently he wanted to, because he wanted to reunite with the co-star, because they had worked on his first credit.
What, Don Johnson?
Yeah.
Well, and you know what, though? So think about the other movie that Bruce Willis did around this time, right? That was also a buddy movie. He did Last Boy Scout, the Tony Scott movie. Did you ever see that?
I haven't. It's in my watch list.
Yeah, it's a good movie, but it's him and Damon Wayans, and he plays like the private detective. Damon Wayans is the ex football player, and yeah, it's one of these types of movies.
Mm-hmm.
But so he clearly wasn't above it, you know. But I think probably Last Boy Scout, people probably like that one a little better.
They're discovering that they accidentally fucking instead of money they got fucking the blue bricks of meth, or they call it fucking Crystal Dream.
You'd be like, this is worth way more, man.
Exactly.
And you know what? Well, hold on, that could have been a part of that. Could have been the movie. Think about where this movie could have like forked off of. Now it's like, okay, we got to sell his drugs. They could have had a movie about them like trying to sell drugs to make the money back.
They become Mr. Nice Guy with the green dream or the blue dream.
Yeah.
Mr. Nice Guy, B. Fucking abracadabra, B.
They're like, who are these men? They were dilettantes, sir. Why does he talk like this? Look at those guys back there just standing like.
This guy, the main bad guy hunting them is Baldwin, right?
Yeah, the main guy, they were dilettantes, sir. The main grunt. Right there with his arms crossed. That's Daniel Baldwin. The main guy, that's the banker, that's Tom Sizemore. Right? Mm-hmm. Find these men, Alexander. Okay. Yeah.
Tom Sizemore's in a great film, Pauly Shore is Dead, and in it they make fun of the fact that, like, people always like he's virtually unrecognizable and indecipherable from Michael Madsen.
he aged a lot. His voice got real gruff. He put on a lot of weight. I always thought he looked a lot like DJ Lethal. It all comes back to Limp Bizkit. It all comes back to Limp Bizkit.
Fucking, give me back my money, you bum.
Give me back my
You
crystal
said you
dream.
pay me back. I'm broken for that. You deserve a smacking for smacking. So let's slacking for smacking.
And if you're thinking I'm a slacker,
Oh, I was trying to do, I forgot, but like before we started, I was thinking like, I'm going to try to do the entire episode talking like this. Because like, apparently like you get, when you talk through the mask of your voice, you know, you're talking through the mask of your voice, of your face, whenever you feel that like vibrating in your nose and stuff area.
oh, okay.
So that means that's my total natural voice. And I was like, I'm going to try to do the next episode with my total natural voice the whole time. Cause I can't slip into the Corey G, the whole shtick. Like, it's funny. Like, what's funny is, as a kid, I remember from a kid, like, the idea of being on the radio and stuff, the idea of broadcasting, it was always like, oh, all the greats, all the ones that are known and remembered, they have their persona. So like since I was a kid, the idea like fucking, it was all like I was brought up in the podcasting or whatever with that OS, that operating system.
Yeah.
So that's what I blame my autism on.
Hey, do you realize this really quick though? How there's little things in this movie that go nowhere. Like, what's the point of that cocktail waitress?
She bakes Daisy.
Like, is it just to establish further that he's like this James Dean, I get all the pussy type guy? So she just comes over saying, "Oh yeah, Jimmy said you give me a ride home." He's like,
I think that was literally the director said, yeah, he fucked chicks and he's like, "Oh, have sex with me and I'll put you in my movie." And that was like,
yeah, and she's like, "Honey, pure gold and sweets." And he just agrees to give her a ride. I mean, that ride never happens because the place is going to get shot the fuck up. But you'd think that would come back in some way, right? Even if like she came back for the ride and she got blowed the fuck up by these weapons. I don't know. It just goes nowhere. I think it's just there to establish that he's a Chad even more. But we already got the fact that he's a Chad, right?
exactly.
Because the first scene is him after his post fuck of a total babe, and he doesn't even try to sneak out. He's just like, no words, I'm leaving. And he could have had the Kelly Who chick behind that gas station. He could have this chick Honey at the bar. I mean, he clearly fucked Big John Studd's wife. he cucked him with Vanessa Williams.
I hope he enjoyed it while he was filming this, because literally just years later he would fucking destroy his beautiful Chad face and jawline and have to fucking get so much plastic surgery. Now he looks like a chewed up piece of bubblegum.
His face looks like the Haunted Mask. Like the Haunted Mask 2, right?
Big
Yeah,
Chad,
it's really too bad. He's much older too than you would think. He's really old.
he kind of looks like Dog the Bounty Hunter.
He does.
Wrestler.
In The Wrestler, he does, yeah. But he looks terrible now. Like, now he's got, like, white hair. He's super skinny. He looks malnourished, and his face is
That
getting
reminds
weird.
me, Insane Clown Posse, they did a diss track to Dog the Bounty Hunter, and he says, your wife looks like the wrestler. And he's talking about fucking
That's funny. Look, all right, so here we get his ex or whatever. I'm just blowing off some steam, right? And she's gonna grab his dick. All right, cowboy. Let's go
This
blow off
movie's
some steam.
basically like, it's kind of a male fantasy. That's probably like a fucking, this is the ultimate, like fucking, he gets pulled over by this hot Stacy ass fucking police cop, and like she's getting ready to like book him or whatever, but she starts grabbing his dick and like, "Hey cowboy, ready to go back to my place?" And then she like, they fuck in order to like get him off of the. And we find out that like she just recognized him, and this is somebody from his past. And it's
Okay,
like
well, no, but
reconnected.
the thing is I think he it's almost like he recognized her too, which that seems a little hard. Like, how would you know that's who that is on the bike on the highway? But he rode up on her and he flipped her off and was laughing. Like, clearly he knew who it was. So I don't know if he just saw her, and I don't know, or does he really know her beat? Maybe he knew
when
where
it
she
started. They imply that like he's doing it as a distraction, like that's part of their plan. Like, oh, we're gonna fucking get a cop to follow us, but then they get sidetracked to this. So yeah, I kind of forgot about that. I did think like, oh, he's getting a cop after him for some reason.
But yeah, I mean, clearly they're just on and off again. He's he's obviously doesn't want to commit, and he's telling her like, "Hey, this can't happen anymore. Whatever. I'm getting married." So she's fucking her normal flame, Don Johnson, even though she's engaged. She's just trying to knock one last one out, I guess, get it out of her system. I don't know. pretty fucked up.
Oh yeah, you know who he kind of looks like? He kind of looks like Waylon Jennings, and that reminds me. There's a Waylon Jennings song in the movie, and I was thinking like, fucking.
Don't you think this Alabama don't go out of hand?
What do you think of the Waylon Jennings?
I like Waylon Jennings. I obviously can't sing it very well, but
fucking the highwayman shit is like hotel stealing, stay down. Fucking there's the cowboys, there's a gypsy kind. Fucking
I like
Chad.
I like some of that. I like that old outlaw country stuff. It's definitely a mood.
That's the best kind of country. That's
but even then, I do like it, but it's still a mood. I can't pop it in every day. I just have those days where I feel like it's a mood.
He's got the good Waylon Jennings songs. Fucking he got that fucking that Silver Tongue Devil and I or whatever that song is. That's Chad's song. He's got that fucking fucking what was the one?
Just fucking, a good old boy, never meaning no harm.
Very Chad. Very Chad.
So I guess the only reason for really deviating into the subplot with the cop is because she's there to inform him of the drug. That's really it, right? I mean, I guess it provides a little bit of backstory to Don Johnson, but it's not that important. It doesn't really pay off. You know what I mean? Like, because they meet up, they fucking have sex, and then we don't see her again after he pretty much tells her bye, and he tries to come back and change his mind. Like, you know, like, I don't know what I want.
Look at his glowing, beautiful, luscious lips.
Okay. But you know what I'm saying?
He got some thick lip gloss on there, just to fucking slides right down your cock.
She's here to let them know about the drug. And then Don Johnson comes back. Basically, he tries to, what's that thing he says? I don't know what I want, but I know what I don't want. And she's like, no dice. And he sees the husband and he says, she's going to take my girl. I'm going to take his bike. It really doesn't go anywhere. I don't really know what it is other than the fact that it's just painting a little bit of another color on the character. But it's really just, I could think of a easier way for them to find out about the drug.
His jacket right there, it says SV or SRV. That stands for Stevie Ray Vaughan. It has like the fucking dates, but in Roman numerals, but it's like off by like 3 years for when he was supposed to be born.
Wouldn't it be weird if the back of his jacket in 1991 and we never knew it because it's only relevant now? But if we're watching this movie and we're like, our mind's blown because the back of his jacket across the arms, it says QAnon.
What? QAnon.
Yeah, QAnon. I mean, like I've been looking at that shit my entire life and I never saw it. It was right there before my Illuminati, right there.
Fucking big cum. They know.
Fucking.
Here's what we find out about Marble Man. He's got these boots that he's had, and he's like, well, all this time I've known you never fucking explained the boots. They're basically like completely torn apart, and he's taping them back together. And fucking like we find out later, his daddy gave them to him.
Yeah, and
my daddy gave me them shoes.
It's the only thing he ever gave him and whatever. And he acts like he has a shitty relationship with his dad, but yet he always quotes the advice he gave him. So yeah, I get it. I like that little touch. Does it really mean anything to the overall plot? No, but it
ends up saving his life, that fucking bootleg.
Yeah. It's a plot device, right? I mean, but exactly. It's still of merit because it's cool. We have to have some kind of character, right? And I like his type of character. And like I said, I don't mind it. It's him and the cop and stuff like that. Is it important?
He's a bootleg fucking boot type beat. This character.
I do like at the end where the boot saves him. He's like, you know what? Fuck your old man. Like, is that? Let's see what you got, huh? Like, is that really all he's got at this point to start making fun of your daddy, your dead dad, and like mama's so fat jokes? I don't know.
Big Chad.
Tia Carrere's in this movie too. She plays the assistant, right? And this is right before Wayne's World. So, and she was also a Stacy.
So, like right here, they're basically
they turned Burbank to a goddamn international airport.
I was a little lost how basically right now they're showing up to the bank that they know that those drug dealers came from, the ones that were shooting at them.
Yeah,
how do they know they were related? I missed that.
They don't. So they just putting that together because they robbed the armored truck. So they're just assuming, okay, we want to talk to the big man of the bank. Is it possible that it was an inside job within the bank, but not that high? Like it was, you know what I mean? Like, it was more of a grunt thing. Like they were using, he just assumes it's the president of the bank, which I don't know, man. You'd think a guy like that, he's got a pretty good job, man. Why are you trying to fuck with it? But like he says, he makes.
Did they see the bank logo on some kind of stack of drugs? And
no. So here's what it is. Right when they first went to the old man, when they decided they were going to rob the bank, the old man told them what bank. Great, trust, and he laughed. Okay, great. And then that's when the robbery went wrong, and you had Daniel Baldwin, everybody shooting him up. Then they went back with the drugs to the bar. Then Daniel Baldwin, everybody showed up and killed them all. So it's clearly linked to Great Trust, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So they're just putting two and two together. And if you saw it when Harley Davidson first arrived to the bar, when he was just saying hi before he fought Big John Studd, they ran into Daniel Baldwin. Daniel Baldwin bumped shoulders. He was on his way out because he's been intimidating the old man about paying up, right? So it's one of those things where they just pieced it together.
Fucking Big Stacy T. Guerrero.
His scar is really prominent, right? They maybe it's real and they just put some magic marker in there.
You think he got that from giving a chick head? Like Scarface?
Oh, how do I get eating pussy? Where he's like, You know what he said? This is a question.
Oh yeah. We should do that movie. I always liked that movie.
I haven't watched Scarface since I was a kid. That's one of those flicks that my mom, I've mentioned this. She used to have.
I like how fucking gritty that movie is.
Well, when she would have days off work, she would literally just have Al Pacino days, man, and she would watch all of the Godfathers and Scarface, and that was like the whole day. And she watched them all the time, and it was to the point to where I hated those movies before I ever really gave them a fair chance because they were on all the fucking time. So it's weird because I've seen The Godfather and The Godfather 2 and The Godfather 3, and I've seen Scarface collectively over the years a million times, if it makes sense. Like, it was always on. So I've seen like all of the movies pieced up. You know what I mean? My entire childhood, it was always on the fucking TV. So I know all those movies, but have I ever sat down in front of the TV and watched The Godfather front to back myself? No, I've never done that. I've never done it for Scarface either. But maybe one of these days I should. But I know the movie front to back though. It's like over the course of fucking 18 years, I saw the first act a million times, and then maybe a million times I saw the second act, and a million other times I saw the third act. Maybe not all at one time.
Or not Scarface, but like the other one, fucking Godfather. That's one like I had to like watch multiple times before I could ever like really appreciate, because it's like there's so many fucking characters in that. It's so easy to kind of get like fucking lost or something in there.
Yeah, and that one's a trip to watch too. If you were to watch it today and you just see all the things they say that are quotes, like that are like parodied and shit like that, you broke my heart and all these different things. It's like, oh, I'm watching one of those movies where all of this shit came from.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, it's one of those things where we've heard on a million different things. We've heard Joey on Full House do the whole, I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. We've even seen fuckers like that do it. Then you finally watch The Godfather, like, oh, here's where it came from. Okay.
Like fucking, he put like tissue paper in his mouth and his cheeks to make his jaw look more Chad. Like that's what all these virgins got to do. These virgins. Fucking like just do the fucking, what he did.
Why the extra $1? I had a bet. Like, wouldn't they find it weird that they gave him the extra $1 was like I don't know, it's a fucking silver dollar? Do banks have silver dollars? I don't know. Anybody have silver dollars anymore? I guess this was 30 years ago. But.
He got one more silver dollar. I'm not gonna make the man don't go. The Midnight Rider.
Oh, you know what? I was
stop because we're gonna get fucking demonetized. They're gonna fucking flag us because that sounds just like it does on the album.
I was speaking wrong before. I was getting my stuff out of sequence because the bar hasn't been shot up yet. They were just meeting with him. So at that point, they were just going back to the bank and basically trying to sell him his drugs back. you know,
Yeah.
which, to be fair, they kind of had all the shit coming. You know, they didn't really, their dick shouldn't have been that swinging. I mean, you stole drug dealers and like basically an American equivalent to a cartel. You stole their drugs and you're trying to sell them back to them. Why wouldn't you think there would be retaliation? Have you not seen any cartel movie? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't, it's not that easy. Why would fucking Chapo, why would El Chapo allow somebody to steal his drugs and buy them back from him and not go back, you know, and retaliate? So now they're rejoicing and they're all stoked. Like, oh yeah, they really think, you know what doesn't make sense to me is they got this money and now the bar, who they know they're associated with because Daniel Baldwin's been in there, he's seen them. The bar's just going to pay off the mortgage or with the money that they did this deal with through the bank. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Fucking El Chapo, was he that guy? Or no, I'm thinking of that Pablo Escobar. Was he the guy that like fucking, like that no one knew he was in America and he has that picture of him and his son in front of the White House?
I don't recall.
Fucking that's like the most funny like that's so fucking shit. Like if I ever start a punk band or something, we're gonna fucking have that as the album cover. Him just fucking standing right in front of the White House taking a picture, fucking posing. Very Chad. Fucking like one of the biggest wanted guys, and he's just fucking right there in front of it. That's so fucking big concrete cock, big stud shit.
We should hire an effects guy just to make up a mold of our heads with like a Colombian necktie and make a t-shirt out of it. You know,
oh yes,
Colombian cartel style.
Fucking, where did you get that fucking Power Rangers helmet you had on?
Oh,
last night?
do you see it up there?
I don't.
I'm gonna turn the flashlight. Yeah, it's a little too dark, but I moved it up here. You see it back there next to Michael?
I'm actually not even looking at our screens.
Oh, my bad. Well, it's nothing special. It's just Hasbro put out this toy line. They got the rights to the toys. They didn't used to have the rights to the toys, but they've been releasing for a couple of years. I think it's been a couple of years. The Lightning Collection. And it's really cool. That's all my Power Rangers toys back there and stuff, and they're the best figures.
Is that a real helmet? Or
no,
like
that's what I'm
mask?
saying. They released these helmets, a couple of them, and they're not. They're essentially made of plastic, so they're not fiberglass like a real like $300 helmet. It's like an $80 helmet. It looks great. It's glossy. It looks the part. In pictures, it looks awesome. But if you were to feel it, it's definitely made of plastic.
That might even be what they used to shoot it. They might have wanted something lightweight, yeah.
Who knows? But no, but it looks the part, and it puts on just like the other real helmet. Everything's like real, so it would fool everybody unless you picked it up. So I think it's mostly made for display, like I have it up there. But I mean, as far
Why
as
did
like,
you get the Red Ranger rather than the fucking Green Ranger?
because they didn't have all of them. They've only put out the White Ranger, and then the Red Ranger, and then the Pink Ranger, and the White Ranger sold out. The Red Ranger was sold out. They're all sold out, but the Red Ranger came back in stock. So
Okay, why didn't you get the Pink Ranger mask and have your old lady wear it and fucking pay you? Strap on a dildo, make you give her head.
I thought you were gonna say if you didn't say that, I was gonna say that, like me wearing the pink one and me getting pegged. No,
Exactly.
no, but I like the
That's
Red
what,
Ranger.
like, I realized that while I was watching our boy Frasier. I just actually watched the episode we talked about with the seal. That was really fucking funny.
When it washed up, just to
is on
watch them how they're spazzing out, like the whole point, right? And there's that one scene where, you know, he's trying to attend to the guest and he's running back and forth because Niles is like stabbing it. There's a guy stabbing a guy. It's fucking ridiculous. And it's just so fast paced and hectic. And then there's that one point where he kind of forgets about Niles because he's running back and forth like a chicken with his head up. And he just goes, Niles! And he runs back because everything about him is so animated. It's so funny.
I was gonna say though, in the theme song of that he says, "I feel a bit confused, but I got you pegged." He's talking about fucking getting paid. And he was very progressive, and then he's talking the scrambled eggs all over my face. He's clearly alluding to the big cum shot. Yeah,
And I got you pegged. Scrambled eggs all over my
exactly. Big Chad,
pearly jizz all over my chest.
hell yeah! Fucking you get stuck in your fucking chest hairs, and you try to grab it off, and it fucking pulls. It fucking hurts. Fucking hurts. You ever get the dry jizz on your fucking pubes?
Not in a long time. I'm a dedicated tube sock guy. I leave no mess behind.
Fucking, what do you do with the tube sock? Do you just throw it away or do you wash it?
I wash it.
Fucking, do you wash it with your other clothes, like your shirts?
I reuse them, man. I have tube socks that are just designated for that. I don't really wear them.
Amazing.
So it's
You
know what's funny is I just use these tube socks like that I've had for the longest time, and it was funny because my lady usually does the laundry, and she'll be like, she's never put it. Maybe she has put it together and she's just not realized it. She's like, you never wear these. She's told me that before, and I've never brought it up. But it's funny. She's like, but she knows she's washing them because she always puts away the laundry. So I never wear them. And she puts them away, and she noticed she's washing them, and she's also So I don't know if it's ever like clicked, but yeah, they're just my.
What if there's just something that evolutionary women weren't like made with the part of the brain where they can put that together just to save us? That
a guy would stick what he pees out of in something that a foot goes in.
Yeah, and it's like fucking. Why would that feel good? Like the idea of like a dry, so like you want some lube.
So
like,
no. I don't do lube. I don't like lube. I raw it. Anyway, so the thing about these socks is it's not just like a soccer player's sock or whatever. No, it's like a dress sock. So it's real silky smooth, real thin, real soft. It's a dress sock. So and because it's a dress sock, it's real constrictive. So it's real small, and then it wraps around that dick real good, but it's real soft. It's almost like you're wearing nothing at all. Nothing on at all. And
I get my old lady, I get her to fucking wash the clothes, and I throw my sock to her. She's like, that sock just cut me. Fucking, I'm like, oh, that's weird. That's weird.
Who's the old lady? That's my old lady.
Exactly. Big Chad.
All right, so okay, so the second movie is starting now, basically, because all their friends got killed, right? For the most part, and now they've escaped, and they're gonna come up with Plan B. And our new movie is basically let's seek revenge. I mean, they don't really need money anymore, right?
Yeah, right here they basically have a little fucking lover spat. Basically, the buddy movie. There's always kind of that scene where they got to break up for a little bit.
Yeah.
So fucking like Harley Davidson's just like, I want to fucking get out of town, and the other guy, he's like, fucking, we can't run away from the problems, and like, fucking, I'm staying. And
but what makes them think that they're gonna take down this a cartel? Basically, it's an American cartel. Where I'd be running away from my problems.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'd be running away and hoping to God I was never tracked down again. Because what makes them think that they can stop this type of organization? Well, clearly they do, because clearly the people that they've met is about as deep as this organization runs, because they kill the 5 or 6 guys in trench coats, and then they go to the bank and they kill the guy that runs the bank, and it's done. Like, you mean it doesn't branch out further than that? Like, clearly this guy's, I don't know, it just seems too easy. Like, this guy, when you have this much money coming through, he says how much money he makes doing the drug run. There has to be people that make that happen. It just it's not really thought out. This whole scene is really funny, by the way. I love this scene where the guys, they find out where they're staying, and they have the whole like episode on top of the roof of the hotel and stuff. And I like that. I've always liked that line of, what does he say? When he's going to jump, he proposes that they jump, and, a Marlboro Man's scared or whatever. He's like, well, you're going to get shot up here. And he's like, well, you're going to get smashed down there. He's like, well, I'd rather get smashed than shot. Not me. It's all really funny. Because, yeah, what would you do in that situation? Like, would you, I don't know. He didn't even look. They jumped before they saw there was a pool down there. So, yeah, was the aim to commit suicide? You know what I mean? Like,
that's what's so great. It was like, there's a scene, where they jump into the pool from the top of the.
It would kill them. They would not survive. That pool will not save them. By the way,
it's like fucking. That looks like it'd be super fun, but like you wouldn't just do that for fun. You would have to have the fucking initiate. Like fucking, there'd have to be somebody chasing you, and you had to have nothing to lose. Like fucking, well, I'll fucking jump, but if I die, then it's like it's better than dying from them, or fucking maybe I'll live, and then like that. And then, hell yeah. Yeah, that got me thinking. What if we start what if this is like a great idea, like Silicon Valley tier idea? You start like, basically it's like The Game, fucking that movie. It's like Recall, that you hire these people to fucking basically hunt me. I went down to fucking Hunters R Us and fucking they gave me a good fucking hunting fucking scenario, and fucking I haven't felt that much alive in fucking years, baby. We should do it.
All right, so they had their lover spat. Marlboro Man knocked him out because he was being a little bit insensitive. He was processing the death of their friends differently than Marlboro was. He hits him, and then he goes, look, it's my fault, all right? I got to live with it, but you and I got to stick together, blah, blah, blah. So Marlboro Man, he does what every guy does at 2 a.m. He's vulnerable. He runs to his side chick, his chick. And they're going to have that little thing going on. But yeah, this is the breakup period. And then after he gets this out of his system and he realizes that his woman is officially finally gone, it's over, Harley Davidson comes back, and he comes back right at the right moment, right? He's going to steal my girl. I'm going to steal his bike. And it's back on. I don't really know what about that makes him realize that their friendship means everything. And I don't know, but
my dad grew up wanting, that was his biggest joy, was he wanted a motorcycle. He loved Harley Davidson.
I remember fucking scared.
I remember when I was a kid, my dad's dirty magazines he had in the fucking in the bathroom in his own little cubby, where I couldn't reach him. But I saw him one time. It was basically a bunch of hot chicks spread eagle across Harleys. Shit like that.
Your dad was cool.
It was very Beavis and Butthead type shit. And then I remember
your mom didn't care. She was the kind of chick that's dad's gonna have skin mags.
What
about maybe you couldn't reach him, but what about other company that came over? Was it their private bathroom, or was it just the public bathroom that the minister came over?
Exactly. But my mom told me this story one time where when she and my dad first started meeting, my mom's sister had the hots for my dad, and she thought I don't want to fuck around with that guy. He's fucking weirdo, fucking long hair, all this shit. And it's apparently they started hanging out because my mom's sister wanted to fucking date him and stuff. And there was the one time where they were talking, and basically my mom's sister, to get on his good side, she would kind of be that chick that's oh yeah, there was one time he was looking at something, he's like, man, I want a Harley, and she goes, I'll buy you, I could buy you a Harley, and he's like, oh really? But he would basically say shit to piss her off because he had the crush on my mom. So he'd be like, why'd you do that? I just put your fucking sister on the back and we'd be the fuck out of here. And she'd get all pissed off. She'd actually get mad at my mom. He likes you more than me. She's like, I can't help that.
Look at how far down.
I always thought that was fucking hilarious. I'll get you, Harley. Why? I'll just put your fucking sister on the back. We'll get the fuck out of here.
Oh my god,
that's fucking savage.
Look at it. So they would have been splat. Even if they did hit the pool like they did, they would have been fucking dead.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they did the belly flop. I mean, he's wearing a leather jacket. Who knows if the belly flop would still have that knife stinging feeling? But he would have hit the bottom. They would be fucking dead.
You ever did that thing where you just fall into the pool and you just stiffen your body up and just fall flat into it, and it just feels like getting fucking smacked by a big fucking giant hand?
Yeah, it's like the belly flop thing, right? And that's the video that made Boogie famous, by the way. That was his first video, Boogie 2988. He put a video on YouTube where it was big fat guy falls in a pool, or big fat guy makes big splash. It was nothing. It was just a little 3-second video of him doing that. And
exactly.
that was the days of YouTube where that kind of video could get you viral. You know what I mean? Nobody else was doing stupid shit like that.
I wonder if it's safe to do that. I wonder if it could
look at this. Sorry, look at him. Look at him jumping. That fucker. What stuntman had to do this, man?
Big Chad.
He'd be dead. Fucking dead. Especially pools these days, I swear, are only 4 feet deep.
Yeah.
I hate you, Harley. These guys, aren't they shooting down from the building down to the pool? Those bullets travel.
I've talked about this on Goat Show. If I ever fall from a building like that, and all I can do is just there's literally nothing I can do, I would try to yell something provocative, research flat Earth, Even
Yeah,
even though I don't believe in that shit, it'd just be funny because anybody that actually heard it, it would blow their mind. And
9/11 was staged.
I did 9/11, fucking stuff like that.
I used to always think it was funny when he put on that wet hat. But no, they didn't get hit by that fucking spatter of bullets going to the pool either. You know, like, it just, I don't know. These guys have like 9 lives.
I think the water basically it hits it and it's just like fucking it automatically just makes it like not going fast anymore. It's just like it pulls it down, like fucking slows it down, baby. I don't think that's true at all.
Yeah, I think it'll go for a bit.
I remember one time it was one of our earliest commentaries. You said like we were talking about like Bugs Bunny cartoons. We were like, why does Bugs Bunny like? Remember when he put his finger in like the fucking the gun and it wouldn't like hurt anybody? Is that a thing that really happens? And for a second I was sitting there like fucking like I don't know. I never thought about it.
Try it on the podcast. Try it on we got video now.
As I was listening to it, I was just like, of fucking course that would work. I was like, I thought like we sounded like the two biggest fucking, it's like, of course it would. Like people commit suicide. They put the fucking gun to their head and shoot. Like, of course it would like, come out still.
Yeah. If anything, if you're like plugging it or something, I think it would just cause the fucking shit to explode and be more shrapnel. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's possible that if you were actually plugging it, like sticking I don't think you can stick your finger in many barrels, like actually your fat ass finger. But I think hypothetically, if it was plugged, I mean, the way it operates and explode, yeah, I think it would just cause everything to blow up, right? Wouldn't it? If it was really plugged.
Yeah, I think it explodes kind of in the chamber, and then like it pushes like I don't know.
I think it would blow your fucking hand up at least. You know, I don't think a bullet's gonna like just fucking go right through you or anything. I don't know. Who knows? Let's try it.
I got to do a pee. I'll be back. All right. Actually, I could do a pee on the show in the
do
jar.
Do it. Don't let video change you. Video doesn't kill the radio star.
Well, this is not Jar Jar Piss. That was the first one. I threw that one away. This is the sequel. This is fucking Mount what would I call this one? Fucking Mount Pissamanjaro. Something like that.
That is not pickle juice.
It isn't. It is not.
Okay, if anybody comes in your room, what do they say when you see a pickle jar? What do they think is pickle juice?
Fucking nobody comes in my room.
Has anybody ever commented on that?
No. Who the fuck comes in my fucking room? I am the virgin, baby. I don't have no fucking Stacy.
Wouldn't it be funny though if somebody like your grandma just popped into one of these videos and said, "Y'all want to see what old Zachary's up to?" And
I thought you were gonna say, "Y'all want to single say fuck that."
Yeah, your grandma started singing that song. But like, what if this is what somebody walked in on? If Zach ever tried to run for president someday, this clip would just be on all the mudslinging campaigns.
Amazing.
Zach wants to be your senator. Zach pisses in pickle jars on YouTube. Zach worships King Cobra. And they start like associating you with him.
Stop saying my real name, my real last name. My name is King Kid COVID.
I just called you Zach.
You said my last name. I'll have to censor that.
Did I say your last name?
You did.
I don't think I did.
You said it like 3 times.
Oh, maybe I did it in the back of my head because I was doing like a political ad, and they always say, "My bad."
Oh,
you guys didn't hear any of that. Men in Black flash.
Oh yeah. I just did a pee on the show.
Okay.
Making good content here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, fun fact, Virginia Slim here, in real life, her name's Chelsea Fields, and in real life, that is Scott Bakula's wife. The Chad of all Chads, by the way. Scott Bakula is King Chad.
Fucking, she should have, her name should be Chelsea Grammer, and she should have got fucking married to Kelsey Grammer.
There you go. So, how did how did Harley know that Marlboro Man was here at this time on his way out?
He put a tracker on him.
Well, no, he did. He
sum it up. It doesn't make sense.
He already told him about the tracker. That's already
exactly. It makes no sense. He had to have guessed what would I do if I was him. He would go see that old lost love.
They act like this is like a tiny like whole backyard or something. Like this is how do you just find these are needles in a haystack? You know,
it is hot AF in this room.
Yeah.
kind of wish I had a fucking fan spraying fucking big. You know how I always like to say, fucking, you spray your cum clouds and a beautiful woman, fucking just fill her with your thick cum clouds. Fucking, I want to spray air clouds at me now. Fucking.
There you go. This is where they're talking about the boots and that whole backstory. He says it's the only thing his old man ever gave to him. He gave it to him as a present on his first day on the professional rodeo circuit. Because I guess he used to be in the rodeo. And I guess he got injured or whatever. He doesn't do it anymore for whatever reason. But you know what's funny? And then Marlboro Man goes, "You never told me that before, Marlboro Man." Isn't it kind of weird they've been friends this long and he didn't know that story?
He never told me, he never explained it. Fucking, it was something he kept close to his chest. Fucking, I don't tell anybody that.
It is kind of funny, though, that he walks around with, like, duct tape boots, I guess. It's pretty interesting. This is a Ruger. Oh, he's like, that's too much gun for you, Harley. Yeah, I think it's funny that he's a terrible shot. I think that whole thing is really, really funny, especially when we get towards the end here. The movie kind of goes by. This movie, to me, just blows by pretty fast. But
we need Freddy Ruger. He's got fucking little guns on his fingers.
There you go. But isn't it pretty funny, though? Like, that whole thing where he's telling him, you know, it's setting it up. You know, you squeeze the trigger. You don't yank it. It's not your dick, right? And it all lives up to that end where it's like, squeeze it, Harley. Where he's got him, like, don't shoot him. And he shoots him and he actually hits him. I always thought that was really funny because that is formula, right? It's all coming back. Like, oh, God, he's got this moment. He has to make the shot.
They say that on fucking Child's Play 3 too. Squeeze the trigger, don't pull it. Fucking, is that something that's really like easy to fucking fuck up if you're shooting a gun? I've never shot a gun, but like fucking, it seems like, yeah, like you wouldn't want to fucking move the posture of your hand. You would just want to fucking twitch your finger. Yeah.
So I guess it'd be natural though when they say pull the trigger, you're pretty much relaxing your wrist and you're pulling, right? But basically they're saying, hey, keep this firm and squeeze it. So, because there's going to be recoil. You know, it's...
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going to need to know this whenever I decide to paint the fucking walls red one day.
Can that be in the 5-minute clip you do? Can that... You got to cut that shit
joke?
out.
You think the suicide joke can fit in there?
You got... Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't take it as suicide. I took it as like, I'm going to shoot up the post... That's what I thought. Like, oh shit. Just shut the fuck up and fly, Tom. I like that line. Okay. Anyway.
Tom Sizemore. And he just mistaked him for Tom Sizemore too.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's weird because the movie does not feel like it lasts a long time. It's only like 90 minutes and it feels like 90 minutes. But at the same time, yeah, it's got like 2 first acts. It's kind of got 2 2 final acts because this is almost like a final act, the showdown. They have this big showdown, just squeeze it, and they figure out how to kill him, and they kill him, and they walk off, but that's not it. They got to go to the bank, and then there's one more sort of like final boss. I don't know. Yeah, it's got an interesting structure about it, I guess.
You see, like whenever I watch a movie, you know how you see the helicopter every time I watch a movie where the helicopter plays, or like if you ever see a like somebody shoots a video with like an iPhone or something, and they have the shutter speed match like the rate at which the little propellers are moving. It looks like it's just like fucking hovering in midair as the propellers are setting station. They're very Chad.
They got that same technology as fucking Richter in what's it called? Total Recall, man. There. They shoot the rat.
That's off the Richter scale. Off the hook.
Yeah, they got all these little like character quirks I like. Like I like the attention to detail of the characters as far as not these guys, but Harley Davidson and Marlboro Man. They're very different guys, but it's the way all those buddy movies have to be, where they're very different guys. They're very different types. One's like the rocker. One guy is the country guy, clearly the cowboy. And what's it?
Rockers, hip hoppers,
and everybody.
Around the world.
But what's it called? One of the little quirks about Marlboro Man is that he's cheap. You know, like he's counting per ammo, right? You know how much he's spending. I always thought it was pretty funny.
He's a real Mr. Krabs, that one.
I don't know. I like this movie. I'm surprised this is one of those flicks that eventually got a Blu-ray release too. Kind of feels like one of the movies that would get buried. This is one of those flicks where I don't think this movie's worse than a lot of movies that are known. It's not like it's bad like that. I just think it's a victim of getting buried and it got forgot. It's a lot like that movie Above the Law. You ever see that with Charlie Sheen, Michael Madsen?
I've tried to watch that movie multiple times, and it's always just like fucking my brain just refuses to take in any of the shit happening in the movie. Every time it's just like I have to grab my phone and.
But really,
yeah, I don't know why.
I don't think it's that. It's not that kind of. It's a fun enough movie.
That's the one with fucking Seagal, right?
No, I said Charlie Sheen and Michael Madsen. Or is it Beyond the Law? I said Above the Law, right? My bad.
Yeah.
Fuck, is it called Beyond? Hold on. Yeah, it's confusing. Charlie Sheen. I'm gonna look it up. Now you got me questioning. Charlie Sheen. Is it Beyond the Law?
I got you questioning your sexuality. You fucking.
Yes, my bad. No, not that. But Beyond the Law. Yes.
You love this ass. Go my body.
Okay, my bad. So Charlie Sheen in 1993 did this movie called Beyond the Law, and it's just this movie. Like whenever you see it, you'll be like, "I've never seen this." You'll be like, "I had in 30 years. How have I never seen this movie? I've never even seen this on TV." You'll have that effect because I don't think they've ever played it. But it's a good movie. It's a competent movie, and it's basically it's Donnie Brasco. It's that type of movie, but with a biker skin. So Charlie Sheen is a cop. He goes undercover and he infiltrates this drug dealing biker gang, and so he grows out his hair, grows out his beard, and he fits the part, and he gets in the gang, and he gains their trust. And
I do own a copy of that to watch. I forgot. Yeah.
What's that?
I do have that to watch.
Oh, because don't I have it in like Vudu or something?
I don't know.
I have it. I think I bought it on like Vudu. So I might have bought it before they stopped allowing us to share.
Oh yeah.
Because we got grandfathered in. Like I still have all the movies you had in there. It's just they stopped. They didn't take away the old movies, which is interesting. Because I still have like Planet of the Apes and all that stuff you had in there at a point. But Beyond the Law is in there, so you might still have it. But it's a good movie. But it's just one of these types of movies where it's like, how come I've never heard of this movie?
These baddies that have the long trench coats on, they should have made this take place in the same movie universe as Halloween 3, and they should all be like the robot. They should all bleed egg yolk.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Marlboro Man fucking punches through him with his Mega Buster, and fucking just egg yolk comes out the back.
What if we were just unaware that we were in this giant universe where the Thorn coexisted in all these different movies? Like, what if the Thorn was behind this, and they, the movie totally takes another detour, and they kidnapped Harley, and they start sacrificing him to a rape. What if we made a movie, and all of a sudden the bad guy was Thorn?
Marlboro Man comes in and has to fuck his niece.
I think we should make a movie, and then our big twist is that Thorn's behind whatever our movie is, and we have to stop whatever the bad guy is with rocks, and we just do that. It'd be fucking hilarious. Nobody would get it, but a niche crowd, but it'd be really funny. Like,
we deep fake Donald Pleasance showing up and just screams for no reason.
Which I'm sure we could. He doesn't even look like Donald Pleasance in that. Is that the one where he's got like the fake ass prosthetic, or is that like 4 or 5? I can't remember.
The skin grafts.
Which one does it look really bad? One of them, the effect looks really bad. Which one is it?
In part 4. By part 6, they just basically written it out that he had scars on his face, and he says, "Oh, I got skin grafts."
Nice.
But they cut that out. That wasn't in the theatrical, so everybody just thought it was a continuity error that fucking his face was fine.
And that's also one of the reasons why that movie doesn't even attach itself to 4 or 5 to me. Like, it feels like totally on its own island.
The producer's cut does. It like even has like the opening where it shows fucking Jamie Lloyd. It kind of recaps the ending of part 5. Yeah.
But without that, the fact that Jamie Lloyd is recast and older.
I remember as a kid, I never even fucking knew that was Jamie Lloyd.
Yeah, and me neither. Because they don't, like you said, they don't establish it in the version we saw. There's no...
They do call her Jamie at one point.
But that's it. That's not enough, right? If it would have been different if they had a bunch of flashbacks and stuff like that. But you never knew it was Jamie because they just pick up and they assume that we're going to know who that is. Yeah. And it's not very establishing. So that, along with Donald Pleasance not having the scars and just like everything about it being so, I don't know, it just seems weird. Probably because 1 and 2 are very connected. It's obvious, like, okay, it's one of the same story. It's got the same characters. Okay, 4 and 5 is just like 1 and 2 where they're connected. And 6 is like this one that's on an island, right?
Yeah.
3 doesn't count. That's why I think maybe that's also why 6 feels so weird. Because it doesn't.
Our boy, fucking Mickey Rourke, fucking swole. Michael Keaton has those fucking. He's got the iron crosses on his ears and on his fucking jacket. Is he a Nazi? What is going on?
I don't know, but
or is he into West Coast Customs or whatever the fuck? The West fucking Orange County Choppers.
I don't know. But speaking of, did I watch something with Michael Keaton recently? I don't know. I was thinking something with Michael Keaton. I wanted to watch Beetlejuice last night because I'm in the Halloweeny mood, and Beetlejuice is one of those movies I like to watch around the season. But I didn't. I watched The Corpse Bride for the first time, though. Strangely enough, I mean, as much as I love Nightmare Before Christmas, I've never sat and watched The Corpse Bride. But that was a decent little movie. I liked it. It was charming.
You fucking charm the pants off you, Aaron.
Yeah, it did.
Q-Aaron.
It makes me Q-Aaron. Well, hold on. It's a good faith for dying. I'll do it slow.
He just spurt cum on his face.
Yeah, that was like a weak little fucking spurt shot. It's like when you're disappointing, when you think you're really gonna bust, but you actually jerked off an hour before, so you're packing light, and it's just a little. You just snot, little sneeze, little dick sneeze.
Fucking amazing, hell yeah! And then
there you go.
Then you do the big chat thing. You fucking pick it up with the palm of your hand and just fucking wipe it all over your face.
Squeeze it, Harley. Squeeze it.
He shot him right in the fucking arm.
I know. It looked like it hurt too, man, because he's shooting him with that fucking Magnum, right?
Exactly.
Dude, is it the Magnum?
I think so.
Because I know he gave it to no, that's a different one. Yeah, and it fucking, he would have blew his fucking arm off, man.
Exactly.
Keep shooting. Make my job easier.
He kind of looks like Steven Dorff, whatever his name is.
I have a question. Why is Daniel Baldwin even entertaining him? Because clearly he's a bad shot and he has to be shot in the head. Why is he even holding Marlboro Man hostage at that point? Like, clearly he's got more than an upper hand. Just shoot Marlboro Man and you'll have more than enough opportunity to fucking shoot Mickey Rourke right after. You know what I mean?
He can't die.
But he was just giving him an opportunity. Like, go ahead, keep shooting.
It's like whenever you're writing a movie and like fucking shit like that, you're not going to kill one of the main characters. So why even give the fucking bad guy an opportunity where he could have shot him like that? Like you don't want to make it unbelievable and just fucking. He kind of looks like Brad Dourif or Steven Dourif or like fucking
Wait, which one? Brad Dourif?
Steven Dourif.
You mean Steven Dorff?
Dorff.
Nah.
Dorff.
Dorff Goes Fishing? Remember Dorff Goes Fishing? You remember that?
I don't.
Oh, he was these videos that you could buy. They always had like these 1-800 numbers. Buy Dorff Goes Fishing. They acted like he was like an Ernest type character. Like, buy all the hilarious Dorff Goes Fishing videos. You can buy them here. It's like the kind of shit your grandpa would like. And it was weird. Like, I never heard anybody talk about Dorff Goes Fishing. I never saw it on anything else except for this 1-800 number where you can get it. But yet they established it like it was popular. And remember,
sounds amazing. We should watch it.
But they made fun of it. But they parodied it and they referenced it on King of the Hill, right?
I never got it then.
Yeah, like they referenced, like, I don't know if they were watching like Dorff. It was on like King of the Hill, like what the fuck. But yeah, and he was like this little dwarf and he was like fishing. I'm like, it looked like Mr. Bean, very low budget, looked like like public access shit.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Look, those are the big fucking weird orbs that fucking Trump was touching with the Saudis in that weird picture.
Oh yeah, the fucking that's funny.
What was that all about?
I don't know, but it was awesome. I love it.
It was big calm energy, apparently.
I love it. Anyway, so now they're here to take down Tom Sizemore, the big bad, and they just roll in here, which he does acknowledge how easy it is. Like, you just thought you would roll in here and kill me. Was that it? That was their plan? And then he's like, yeah, that was the plan. But that wasn't their plan because they've got an ace up their sleeve. They somehow, some way, got connected with the helicopter guy who was flying around Daniel Baldwin. They must have like talked to him after they killed Daniel Baldwin in the airplane graveyard. I don't know, because they hired him to have their back and just blow this guy away with the rail guns. I don't know. And he says something that doesn't make sense, because after he shoots down the office, which he doesn't even kill Tom Sizemore, he just blows it away and he gets back up and then he waves goodbye. Like, well, thanks, asshole. But he says, so what'd you pay him? And then he responds, and it doesn't make sense. He says, no, man, that was your money. You paid him. He did that for free. I'm like, wait, which one is it? You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Were they trying to have the RoboCop ending where it's like, oh, I can't fucking shoot him. I can't shoot anybody that works for this company. And then he says, you're fired. And then he gets to shoot him. Like, was it supposed to be one of those moments?
Yeah, I don't know. Here's yours. We took it. It wasn't right of us. And all they want is for them to change the lease back to the Rock and Roll Bar or Grill.
Even though their buddy isn't even alive anymore.
Yeah, who's going to run it? They're all dead.
Just let it sit there.
Yeah. So what? Somebody's going to buy it, and then, yeah, who owns it? It's going to go whoever the estate. Like, I mean, because the guy's dead and his son's dead too. Who are they leaving it to? It's just going to get auctioned anyway. Like, I think it would get just seized by the city anyway, and then someone else is going to get it and make it to a strip club or something.
This is the part from the original version where
they didn't die.
They didn't die.
they didn't add that. This is when they thought they were just going for this movie. Like, we're just going for this movie, and then they decided to combine them.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That guy reminds me of that David Krumholtz.
No, he doesn't.
Fucking David Krumholtz.
What? That what he sounds like?
Krumholtz. Big Chad.
Selling drugs ain't no game. Not your average game. I make $500,000 a year to sit in this office and run this bank. Okay, bullshit. I make another $50 million a year to sit in the same office and run those drugs. That's a big game. So maybe that's just inflation, and this is $1991 talking here, but $500,000 and he runs the whole bank. The guy that runs our bank, man, he makes more than $500,000. Let me tell you that.
Fucking,
that's not a lot of money.
We gotta break into his money, steal it. Hey, Ron, we gotta hatch a plan.
Yeah.
Like stealing Harvard type shit.
I'm surprised this guy doesn't have more security. Like, he sent all his security out to the elephant graveyard, the fucking Lion King elephant graveyard, to kill these guys, and he's got nobody else. All this shit, this destruction is going on up here, and nobody's coming up. You know what I mean? Like, the Tia Carrere, I don't know. You just think that somebody would have been alerted? I don't know. Whatever.
Okay, fucking. I'm seeing some of Kiefer Sutherland and fucking Make You Roar now. Maybe he's not fucking swole. Michael Keaton. He's Michael Keaton and fucking Kiefer Sutherland. If they ran in, like, they just ran at each other and just fucking like they went so fast that they broke the space time continuum and they fucking became like they Brundleflied themselves.
Brundlefly. They're at Brundle Spider.
Oh yeah.
Leprechaun 4 reference. Anyway,
Chad.
Yeah, so there's his other security. They finally came, and that's what he's saying. You thought you were just going to come in here and shoot me. Was that the plan? Yeah, that was the plan. I like that line, though, where he's like, he can't shoot an unarmed man. Then he throws him a gun. He's like, that gun's not loaded, Harley. So what? This piece of shit gives guns to kids.
That's the coolest thing about him.
Look at those glasses. He looks so stupid. He looks like Doc Ock.
Chad.
Yeah.
Anyway, should have
Anyway.
gave him those like really pink, like the really flamboyant colored ones, and he looked just like our boy fucking Elton John.
Not everybody that works for this massive ass bank is part of this drug cover, right? So does anybody on the lower levels wonder who all these fucking crazy, like, what's it called?
Beta boys?
No, what the fuck is it? Like, mercenaries? Why are these like
trench coat mafia rejects?
Yeah, why is these trench coat mafia mercenaries with fucking automatic weapons paroling around? It doesn't make sense. Do they come to the office every day? Because they all have to enter through the bottom, right? Do they all come in like regular clothes and then once they get on the secret top floor, they fucking... it just doesn't... It's so weird. I want to see what the everyday workday is like.
These I just wrote the script in my head for the fucking the prequel where they tell us what the trenchcoat mafia guys came. They were hanging out in Columbine School, fucking trying to get in with those two kids, and they're like, "You ain't cool enough to hang out. You don't even listen to Marilyn Manson, bro." And they
Look.
fucking they branched out.
I'm dead serious. What does that mean? Did you see that dialogue exchange? So the guy shoots up the office, but he doesn't kill anybody. So was the whole thing just to wreck his office? I mean, he's clearly loaded. I mean, that's not going to be it's not going to set him back. But anyway, he says, "So what'd you pay him?" And then Harley goes, "No, man, that was your money. You paid him. He did that for free." Does that not make sense? Does that what's the answer to the question?
God,
No, man, that was your money. You paid him. Okay, he did that for free.
They're basically they're throwing out the fucking the analogy, and it's really five-head shit. It basically, remember that famous quote by one fucking Roddy Piper. He said, "Just when you think you know the answers, I change the question."
Look, we got the
And it was
sweet.
basically a metaphor.
We're gonna have
for
the
that.
sweet blue screen effect or projection. That's actually projection, right?
Yeah, that looks like green screen to me. I could be wrong. There's a video I ran across on YouTube. It's like, how did blue screen and green screen work before computers? And I always want to watch it because I'm not even sure. I never thought about it, and I kind of want to figure that out. 'Cause I never
Was
thought
there
about
no computer work done? I mean, I thought without the computers and the green screen, it was projection. Like,
Yeah,
how
maybe,
could you have
maybe.
green, blue screen without some sort of computer?
it. I don't know. Yeah.
But they were using projection pretty late. I mean, even when like green screen and all that shit existed, right? Aren't they? They still to this day use a lot of projection for car shit, right? I don't know. Maybe not
I
today.
don't think they do. Maybe if they're stylistically doing it. I remember fucking like Oliver Stone or whoever fucking did it with the Natural Born Killers.
And they did it for like Pulp Fiction, right? With the cab and Bruce Willis and What about when did blue screen get introduced?
Probably sometime around 95 or something.
Okay, so they were doing projection before then, exclusively. Okay, but projection did the trick, man, because it's like, The Shining, riding up to the Overlook, that was projection in the car and stuff like that. And anyway, you mean they ate him up? Yeah, all that shit.
Is this a fake beard on our boy here?
No, it looks real to me.
Sometimes the
but-
mustache looks a little different than the rest of it.
I don't know. It seems like it looks real to me. But anyway, so yeah, I mean this whole scene reeks of, hey, come back and film another scene because we want to take it into another direction. Like they all went home, and he's like, well, shit, I don't have a mustache anymore. And just like plop it on him. Who knows? Maybe. But yeah, anyway, so I guess that whole brush with death and everything they did made him want to seize the day and become a bull rider again. I don't
A
know.
little known fact: this Cowboy Way is actually a sequel to this. This is when he wins the belt that fucking Sonny ends up pawning, and then Pepper goes in and gets it back, and then like we have that big ending where fucking, how did you afford this, Pepper? And it fucking pulls out, and we see his fucking amazing cock in his fucking underwear ad on the billboard.
There you go. And then so he leaves him to do this. That's where we leave his character. And Marlboro Man does what he does best. He just heads off in the sunset, and he's got another fucking Stacy that he picks up, and she's just on the side of the road with her thumb out, like looking hot. Like girls don't do that in the middle of the desert.
And,
waiting
he's
for-
like, "Oh, where are you going?" She's like, "Oh,
Nowhere
just-
special. Like what you say, nowhere special. Hop on, I'll take you there.
Yeah, fucking. That's how women are with fucking the guys that look like they could just fucking kill you. Like,
Look at that. Look, is that what she says? Like, where you heading? Nowhere special.
Stacy.
Look, nowhere special. Come on, I'll take you there. It's like, all right.
He's basically telling her, like, I'm going to come really quick. It's not going to be that satisfying.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
really Chad. That's really Chad.
That's so funny, man. Look, and then they take off. She doesn't even, they really aren't talking about where they're going to go.
She wraps her legs around him like that, which probably wouldn't feel comfortable at all.
No, it's just,
It'd probably make you easier to fall off, too. Slide off the back. And then it ends, baby. The credits start rolling.
I like that song. I always like these, like, I need to put together a playlist if I could find them all on Spotify of just like my B-movie soundtrack songs.
Chad.
I would put this on here. I would put like forgotten soundtrack songs. I would put that Mighty Duck song, that end credit song, Winning It All. And it sounds like an 80s type thing, but it's clearly like a holdover from the 80s because Mighty Ducks was like 90. I would have to put the song from Lionheart when he's entering the ring, the final battle, and The songs from Bloodsport.
What about the song from fucking Over the Top? When it takes it all, let it take the fall.
Yeah, I mean that one too. No, that one's really good too. Anyway, so something about the movie. It's a movie I've seen a bajillion times. That guy's last name is Boney.
Chad.
It's weird. But yeah, it's not a bad flick. I like it. It's comfort food.
Comfort food.
I do feel good about. I always want to know how all movies got made. Like when you see a certain movie, you're like, I wonder what the first script looked like. Like this is clearly the shooting script, but how many people did it go through, and how many revisions did it go through? Because there's a lot of people stuff goes through before it actually gets made. So I think more often than not, whoever wrote the initial draft, which I never know the rules on that, because you see movies all the time that have like a list of writers. But I've also heard that the rule is, like, if you're looking through the books and you're looking through the actual official rules, whoever wrote the first draft gets the credit. So when you see like a movie like Creed 2, like, I don't know why I'm saying Creed 2, but Sylvester Stallone wrote Creed 2. He wrote the first rough draft, but it got passed on to other guys and they cleaned it up, and it got, but since he had the initial concept, even if it changed or whatever, he got the credit. Nobody else's name is on there. So I've always wondered why they follow the rules sometimes and why they don't. Like if it's
maybe it's because they want, like, if they want it to have that motif of like, oh, it's directed or written by the original writers, so they're just like,
it looks better when it just says Stallone,
yeah,
and not Stallone with like a bunch of other people.
Well, I'm pretty sure as long as like you write at least like fucking 50% or something, you can get a credit or something. If you want
it probably it probably has to do with how much did the principal story change from at the beginning of the line and the end of the line. So if all the main beats and the essential A, B, and C are still there of Creed, by the time they cleaned it up, it might not be worth it. But if they've introduced, like if Creed 2 didn't have Drago in it, like it was that drastically different, like, okay, shit. Well, you basically came up with the idea to do a sequel. We were going to do that anyway because the first one made money. So I don't know if you get credit.
I know Charlie Kaufman did, like, he was kind of a writer for hire because, like, he's so, like, he can't get anybody to fund his movies because they're so weird. The guy that did, like, fucking Being John Malkovich and all this stuff. And then, like, he made, basically, he was a writer for hire for this movie called Chaos Walking, which was based on a story. And, like, fucking that basically got rewritten. And, like, he wrote, like, literally less than, like, 5% of it, but they still put his name on it because he's, like, he's got clout and like big circles.
The thing is God, what was that movie we did a commentary for, a Cinema Anima for, where they used someone's name? We were recording a podcast for, or maybe it was Joe Bob. What big writer?
The Dan O'Bannon. They put Dan O'Bannon.
Yeah, Dan O'Bannon on Dead and Buried, right?
Yeah.
He's like, this movie is shit, but they used his name because he had clout. He wrote Alien or whatever, and it's like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, so the thing about like the way it works in film is there's no rules. There's like rules, but there's not rules. Like there's quote unquote rules to writing a screenplay and the formatting, but yet all the biggest people in the world break the rules, right? It's kind of like those rules are there for people that have to prove themselves. But look at Sam Raimi's first script. They were just a bunch of kids. If you can find Evil Dead, the original, online, like actual
super simple, yeah.
Photocopies. It's literally like a kid, but you can break the rules, I guess, when you're funding. You're gonna do it.
I think if you time that script, it's only like 30 or something minutes or something like that too. A lot of it was improvised.
Yeah, but